Hi guys, this is Ishita Yashvi. Welcome to my rustic farmhouse living. This is my household of women. I live here with my mum, my nani and my 3 female dogs. There are so many things to love in this space, but the most endearing thing that I like about this house is the fact that it's surrounded by lush greenery and just ample sunlight. We have 2 floors to us. This is the first floor where we are right now, and then there is my terrace apartment, which is a solo pad. This floor is much bigger, but I really love the open terrace that I get with my floor. I call my home contemporary vintage, if that is a word. There is an old world charm all through the home, and I like to marry that with just modern accents here and there. You know, in the absence of a formal living and dining room in an apartment living, what I like is to keep the living rooms really light and airy. I like the furniture to be easily movable, so I almost like a mix and match of separates. So the heaviest piece of furniture in my living room is basically this Chesterfield couch. It's almost like a day bed, and I've basically matched it with really light furniture here and there. I keep changing the upholstery of this couch. Like for example, it's got like a really traditional ikat inspired motif right now. But my most cherished piece of furniture are basically these chairs. They're vintage, by the way. I think they're almost 100 years old. I think when my Nana got married, his father gave it to him and then he gifted it to my Nani. I absolutely love them. Like, they're my prized possession. You know, the spotlight of our living room has got to be this regional art wall. I call it regional because it's got paintings from like different states of India. It's got a Pattachitra, it's got a Pichwai, it's got a Kali Ghat from West Bengal. I love supporting female artists, local artisans and craftsmen at the grassroots level, and this wall is truly a reflection of that. You'll find a lot of brass collectibles in my house married with an element of nature, so a lot of plants. Also married with like some very thoughtful modern contemporary pieces, like for example this dining table right here. Let's now move towards the religious space in the house. My mum and Nani are very passionate about the mandir area. So I created this corner a little differently. I didn't want that typical look of a mandir. So I used a cabinet top to basically create the mandir, and to just complete this nook, I used these murals from Rajasthan and just this really lovely drop light to give that warm glow to the temple area. So we're done with the living room. Come with me as I take you through the bedroom area. Well, this is the bedroom space over here, and this room is truly what I call like East meets West, because it's a bit of an anomaly, but in a good way. There are a lot of Indian elements, but it's also married with like colonial English vibe. For example, this wallpaper are those typical English roses, which I've married with this deep green 4-poster bed. There's also a colonial cabinet over here. Then you have with this some very signature Indian elements like this, you know, mirror and shisham wood, this quintessential Indian cart which I've used almost like an end of bed seating, and like I said, with my signature brass and plants. I'm taking you guys to the outdoor area of the house, our really lovely balcony. Well, as a family, we love nature, like I said, and this space is truly a reflection of that. The highlight of this balcony area has got to be our jhula. I got this custom made from a local vendor to basically fit the high ceilings that we have here. And we really enjoy using this space, or rather overusing, I think. We all gather here in the evenings after we're done with our work days for chai and coffee. So that's it about this floor. Come up with me to my solo pad, which is a terrace apartment. Well, this is my 2-bedroom terrace apartment, and no points for guessing, the highlight of this space is the terrace, which I've been doing it up very painstakingly, one plant at a time, for almost last 2 years. I wanted to retain its original rusticness, so I've left the floor as it is, I've left the walls as it is, and I've basically created like a mini jungle of sorts. That's how I wanted it, like filled with plants and flowers and hopefully vegetables one day. I've created these nooks, a bit of wall decor, there's a lot of hanging plants happening. There are these focal corners that I've created. For example, this one, it's got this very antique vintage vibe. There's a wheelbarrow lying somewhere in the corner. So really, it's my soulful place. I love it. This area is much smaller than my mum's and Nani's floor, but it's honestly enough and ample for my solo living. The layout of this room is quite challenging because there's literally doors on every wall. So I had to be very mindful of how I'm creating this space. The layout had to be just right. The pieces had to be very, very easy on the eyes because keeping the small space in mind. So I have created this couch out of a charpai. It's a full-size charpai and I really like it, like how easy and simple and effective it is. Not to forget comfortable. But the highlight, of course, has to be this jhula right here. It's a very traditional piece and it gives this small space, that edge, without taking much of space. So I really love it. This room, you'll see a lot of play of color and texture. Again, it's contemporary Indian vintage, but way more Indian than the floor below. So welcome to my bedroom, guys. It's a very, very simple space. There isn't much happening here apart from 1 or 2 corners that I'll take you through just now. The bed is actually like a low divan bed. I got this frame made for this space. I like it that it doesn't have a headboard and it doesn't add any bulk to this area. But the corner that I really like in this room is basically my dresser corner. With like the block print blinds and the wicker table, this elements of brass and this old colonial lamp, along with my utility hanger and the curtains flowing and the light coming in. I just really like the vibe of this area. Welcome to the other bedroom in my house. This is my workout room, as you can see. I'm found in this room all day, taking calls, working. My entrepreneurial ventures and my marketing consulting requires me to work from home a lot, and hence this is a very pivotal space in my house. I've got this really large work desk custom made. It's a classic restoration hardware design, and I had it made almost like in a dining table size so that it fits all my work paraphernalia and it gives me a little space to decorate it. I've sprinkled it with some thoughtful, eco-friendly elements like this cane chair. We've got that cane mannequin happening. There's a wooden trolley. So really, I think this is one of the most used spaces in my home. And of course, there's a bit of a day bed here, like a floor mattress, where I take a quick nap if I'm too tired, and that's about it. Thank you for watching my home tour, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want more such content, don't forget to subscribe to the Homely newsletter by LBB.